Let's continue to drive innovation and success together. Now we have the privilege of having a conversation with a very senior leader from the industry with us, Mr. Arun Maheshwari. He is a Director, Commercial and Marketing at JSW Steel Limited. Sir, we would like to welcome you on the stage, please. Sir. This fireside chat will be hosted by Head of Customer Advisory, SAP India, Mr. Mukesh Kumar H. Welcome Arun sir and Mukesh on the stage, please. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. So wonderful to have so many industry leaders, business experts sharing their thoughts about the opportunities, the challenges, which I think Ulman mentioned, the industry which are really core and to the nation building. So thank you so much. And obviously, Stefan also shared how technology could be a strategic enablers, this exciting world of agentic AI, which is going to drive the transformation, right? And SAP's point of view on that. So now it's a privilege to welcome Arun, Director Commercials and Marketing for JSW Group, to hear his views on the various aspects of the industry and how he thinks that the contribution these core industries makes to the India's growth can continue the momentum what we have seen in last couple of decades and couple of years, right? So welcome Arun again. Pleasure to have you here. Let me start with a macro environment. I think Kulwan spoke, Stefan spoke about some of the key macro trends, right? So, I mean, India has been a shining star in the global economy with the kind of growth we have, the technology adoption, etc. So how do you think some strategic dimension, your views on certain strategic dimensions and direction, how things are going to shape from here? Because we hear tariff wars, we see geopolitical tension. Some of the mega trends you think are going to shape this industry going forward?
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, SAP, for inviting me for this wonderful occasion. And all of us know that, last 2-3 decades have been for China. Before that, it has been for Europe. Before that, it has been for US. Now it's the time for India. I think India will continue to remain relevant in every sector of the economy for the next 2 to 3 decades for sure. And thereafter, probably it could be time for Africa. So if I have to look at the global view of it, India has been a very slow starter. Being a democratic country, we have our own nuances and challenges to grow. And I think it's a very good thing to have because we shake and settle every time. Unprecedented growth can lead to a very bloated kind of growth in one part of the economy, which is not the case in India per se, if I have to look at it. When I look at mining and metal sector, we have been many shakes around. We have grown very slowly. The steel manufacturing has been about 100-120 years old in India. But till date, we have until about a decade back, we were just about 70-80 kgs per capita. Today, we are at say 100-110 kgs per capita. And the way, when 2017, when the national steel policy was announced, that 300 million ton would be produced in India, even the steel mills were like smiling slightly, how it is possible. In about 100 years, we have reached to about 70 million tons or so. And in another 15 years, we'll be touching 300 million ton. How it's possible? But today, if I look at it, by 2030, 250 million ton is more or less given. We may be off by 5 years. By 2035, we'll be 300 million ton. So the economy, the way India is growing, it's very solid, very grounded, and well settled. It is not in air. Nothing is like, everything is very, very well defined kind of stuff. I talk about steel, I talk about infrastructure. If you look at the port sector, we had only 12 major ports until about 20 years back. In the last 20-25 years, we have 200 more minor ports coming up in India. Imagine the kind of scalability what we have. If we have to be a relevant economy, it cannot grow without touching the shores. Because the entire globalization, what we used to call, it has become more regionalization now. Every sector, like whether it's ASEAN, whether it's Quad in the defense side, if I have to talk about BRICS on the other economy side. So there are smaller groups which are coming up, and in the last 2-3 months we can see that, or rather I would say in the last 10 years, if I have to see the way the political shaping is happening across globe, it is more looking inwards rather than looking outwards. Everybody wants to protect their own economy, everybody wants to harness their own economy, and we are in a wonderful spot today. The population, which was a menace for us about 20-30 years back, we used to think about, this population is going to eat up India, it is going to eat up our growth opportunities. Today, this has become a boon for us. We have so many working heads, we have so many working brains for us. And this size of economy and geography size, I think very few countries can have this advantage what we have today. We are at the right cusp, and we are actually, the people sitting in this room, in the last 20 years and for the next 20 years, will have the best time of our economy, foreseeable future. We can have much better times going ahead of us. But having said that, metal and mining sector is definitely shining, absolutely no doubt about it. If I have to look about the port sector, if I have to look about cement sector, if I have to look about energy sector, these are the core sectors wherein JSW Group is already involved. And we understand this business very well, and we can see a humongous growth in this. Absolutely bang on, we are on the right policies, right culture is getting into it. And we were an agri-based economy about 30 years back. Rather than getting the transition of agriculture to manufacturing to service, we jumped onto service. We missed somewhere the manufacturing part for 20 years in between. Now the last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, if I had to look at it, we got into the manufacturing part of it. So this is giving a boost to us from agriculture to service to manufacturing. And I believe we are learning from others, developed economies like Europe or America or other places, or China now, wherein their intelligence, their AI, their integration systems, we are learning from them. So we are not reinventing the wheel. We are just riding onto the wheel which is already running. So which is a very, very good part for us for growth further from here.
Thanks, Arun. So clearly the outcome is that we do have some headwinds, but I think India is going to be the least affected by the headwinds and some of the mega tension what we see globally. And I think the economy continues to remain on a solid path. I think JSW is a great example. You just told me that when you joined JSW, it was 300 crores, and now it was not even in steel, right? So it's now a few lakh crores.
Yeah,
so with, sorry.
When I joined JSW, we were not producing steel. So now we are one of the largest in India. So, and when I joined, the turnover was just about 300 crore rupees. And today we are more than 200,000 crore rupees. So, which is quite a journey for JSW.
So phenomenal growth, and it's a great group. So with these headwinds, I think there are tailwinds. You just spoke about the infra, the mobility, Kulwant touched upon the energy transition, etc. So there's a huge opportunity to grow. So how do you think the industry can scale from here and deliver on the growth? We know that we have a huge potential, but how does it scale and deliver on the growth so that it continues to be the fulcrum of the Viksit Bharat, as we call?
Very good point picked up, Mukesh. This is one of my favorite subjects. What brought us here will not take us there. So, India has been an entrepreneurial nation by birth. We are entrepreneur because we had a scarcity of resources. We had a scarcity of. We have been ruled for centuries by others. So we always lost our identity, our core. And in the last 30, 40, 50 years, if I had to look at it, we started gaining that strength. Now today, if I have to look at it from a gut feel, what we used to say, this is how we should be doing the things, and it will succeed. Because it was a scarcity was there of the resources, we were largely successful in whatever the subject we have touched so far in the economy. But whether it will be relevant going forward, probably the answer is a question mark. Because so far as it was the 5 senses which were working, we were having gut feel, we were doing whatever it is, and we were getting the results. Because it's quite a distributed economy. Whatever we produce will be sold over here. But to become a scalable global organization, very procedural output, very definitive output. It cannot be quality by chance or output by chance. Now it has to be definitive results. And that's where the companies like SAP or the data or the AI comes into play. Now we want a definitive output. We can't do trial and error. We can't do spray and pray. Let's spray wherever it sticks, it's fine. It gives you the fragrance. But gone are those days. Now we have to have a definitive input and an output. The resources are to be utilized in a very competitive manner. We just can't, okay, let's do this, this, and this, and whatever comes out, we will see. We'll figure out which is the best practice. Today, we have a historical data of 3 decades or 2 decades. As JSW, we have about 3 decades of data available. Now, this data is a gold mine. How we utilize it, how we harness it, is to give a definitive output going on. So this is, I think, we are there as a country, as a company. We value this very much, and we would not like to go into the trial or error method now onwards, because now we are experienced, we have a data backup, and we would like to use technologies like this, wherein we can have a very focused investment, focused output, and we can create our path from here on.
Sure. So if I have understood this transformative aspect, I think you're talking about moving from gut to insights. You're talking about more predictability. You're talking about actually driving more optimizations using the data, right? So if I were to summarize this, there are 2 key elements. I think the business always has to go profitably to manage your competition, create differentiation, create value for the stakeholders. But there is also an element Stefan talked about, it's about the sustainability, right? What is good for business also has to be good for the people and the larger society. Profitability on the one side, sustainability on the other side. So how do you see this thing, this transformative landscape and company managing this?
I think sustainability, the definition of sustainability is changing as we move forward. If I remember very well, in the earlier days when the earlier big business houses were there, like Birlas or Ghanshyamdas and Tatas, they already had a sustainability imbibed in their business model. Because that time the need of country was, poverty, food, security, housing. These were the sustainable model for the society. And that's where we had a CSR, or Dharmada is what we used to call as in Indian context. Now that was replaced by CSR. Now sustainability has taken like environment or carbon footprints and all those stuff. So it's no longer an option, it's a necessity for growth. If you think, okay, I can ignore this sustainability part and still can grow, I think it would be foolishness to think about it. Sustainability is a part of the business as good as human resource, or as money matters, or as marketing, or as supply chain. Sustainability is another pillar which has to be well taken care if you have to remain relevant for future. If you want to grow for a couple of years, that's fine. You can still grow. But if you want to remain relevant, sustainability has to be a key pillar for that. It's not an option, it's a necessity.
Got it. Anything specific you think these industries are doing, some key pillars around this sustainability which audience can take the inputs from?
Oh yes, steel industry or cement industries are known for very high carbon footprints or something like that. If I had to take that as a sustainability factor, we at JSW are proud that we are taking a very, very good initiative, globally well-known initiatives, wherein our target is to become net zero by 2050 or so, which is quite a tall target in steel industry, but then we are marching towards that. We have taken several initiatives within the company. Our carbon footprints are coming down, and more so there are pressures from developed economies like Europe, wherein they want to implement CBAM, which again forces us to think inwards, what are the new technologies which can be taken. And more so the landscape is changing so fast on this front that people are forced to look at it. It also brings economies, in your production, like how do we recirculate our gases, how we recirculate our coal fines or iron ore fines, or our mobility. How can we do more of, pipe conveyors, slurry pipelines, or a railway usage, or seaborne usage. Because wherever, suppose, if you have to move the material by truck, half of it is consumed by the railways, 1/4 of it is consumed by the sea route, and 1/10 is consumed by the pipe conveyors. So, so this is a journey. This needs capex. This needs quite a long-term vision. And I'm very proud that I'm part of the company which thinks it's much, much ahead of our overall movement. We are the largest mover of seaborne trade in India today. We are the largest user of inland waterways in India today. We have the largest slurry pipelines we are building now. We have the largest pipe conveyors in India today. So we are working towards that. It's a journey. It will take time. It requires a lot of capex. It requires a lot of vision. And that we are good. We are going there.
Thanks, Arun. So clearly, if I were to summarize, it's not about just reporting certain KPIs, but it has to be embedded in entire processes, be it procurement, manufacturing, transportation, etc. So thank you so much for the insights. So, I mean, if I were to summarize our chat till now, I think what you just shared with the audience, that the headwinds are there with the macro situations, but India is well placed, doesn't have to really get worried, and we have a fantastic opportunity to growth. But what worked will not work in the future.
Yeah.
So we have to move from guts to insight. And finally, I think sustainability is not anything which is contradict to your profitability goal, but actually it's actually complements that goal, and the largest good for the society, right? So moving from the mega trend what we have now to the aspect of the technology itself. This event, it's about the AI and how leading with AI we can drive transformations. Leading with AI we can drive innovations, right? AI has really emerged very, very fast. So what technology used to be a very tactical automation, now we are moved to more strategic enablement using technology. AI is really impacting all the functions and the aspects of the organizations. And this industry is no different. So how do you see this industry coping up with this whole topic of using AI? And what do you think the approach the industry should be taking to make AI as the front and center when they look at transformation and innovation? It's a long question, but it's a very important topic for us.
I may not be having a very definitive answer for that, but I think we are in a journey as of now, especially if I have to talk about metal mining sector and the production or these sectors. AI has proven its mettle in the digital space or in the platform kind of stuff, wherein like for the Amazons or any other, where the platform is created and then you can use your AI tools to make it more scalable, more visible. Wherein in the manufacturing sector, in the core sector, wherein it's a very heavy capex driven, and AI is generally a cloud driven. So these are two contradictory things which plays in our mind when as an industry, if I have to look at it, we are very capex oriented and we are ownership oriented kind of people. We don't allow our assets to be owned or controlled by someone else. So that's where a mind conflict comes in. You know, oh, my data is somewhere else. It's not under my control. So how do I do that? But I think in bits and pockets, we can go over there. We can test and try whether it's working for us, it's not working for us. We may fail in 10 times, but we will succeed in 90 times. So we are trying it out in JSW at multiple locations in multiple small facets, and we are seeing encouraging results. I think it is a journey, as I said. It will take a couple of more years for us to go there and fully convince ourselves, okay, this is working very well for us, and this is how we can scale up from here. In bits and pockets, in supply chain management, in individual verticals, in supply chain management, in finance function, in marketing tools, it works very well. But as
any example you would like to give as
like on the shipping side, like we are one of the largest material movers in India today. We move about 120 million tons of cargo across India, and we are the single largest customer on the private side for Indian Railways as well. Now, maintaining this kind of size and scale is humanly impossible. It was good about 20 years back, but it's no more possible today. Humanly, it's not possible. So what do we do? Like we have created platforms wherein it throws us the result, which route is the best, which trains are coming, how do we reduce our damages, so the system gives us the results. Okay, now you do this, now you do this, now you do this. So human intelligence, which was a proprietary knowledge, is getting shifted to the system.
Right.
We had a data bank for 20 years. That data bank is created into a proper knowledge base. The information is count to knowledge, and knowledge is becoming into the output now. Okay, this was the situation, you do this now. So we are seeing that happening, though at a very small scale as of now. We have not fully integrated onto that. We are just, as I said, we are just getting there now. And I think maybe after 2 years when we meet, or after 4 years when we meet, probably we can talk with more authority. Yes, we are here, and this is what the outcomes are.
Right.
But in a very fragmented approaches, we are getting there, and we are convinced. You know, the kind of size and scale what we are doing, it is humanly not possible to control everything. Multiple locations, multiple complexities, but the output is same customer, same geographies, same products. So, you know, when the output is similar, is common, wherein the input is from multiple sectors, then you need to have a platform which can give you the inputs and outputs both.
No, fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I think it's all about driving the business outcomes, be it for the customers, be it for your own stakeholders, etc., and how AI can be really powerful. And I think each organization, we are also talking, Arun, is in the journey mode, right? Not everyone has got the end state in mind, but yeah, everyone is looking at how AI can help them do things better, faster, and actually in a right manner, so that they drive business outcome much, much more effectively. So great insights, Arun. As SAP, I think you are aware, and JSW is a long user of SAP, and a lot of customers we have in this room. We have been focusing a lot on the industry. Our DNA is our industry. We get solutions which actually works across 25 industries. And the format which we have created in this to get the business leaders, experts, talking to each other, networking, share some insights, stories, how the information and the stories one can help others, etc. So with this audience, the leaders, IT leaders, business leaders here, any final words for them in terms of how they should be really accelerate the kind of growth we have seen in this core industry, and some of the things from your experience you would like them to benefit from?
Yes, Mukesh, thank you. To all the audience, our friends, colleagues and all, I must tell you that, you know, SAP, which was seen as a luxury or as a tool, I believe it's becoming more and more necessity, at least in JSW's context. It is a wonderful tool. See, when you see a growth journey, of course the economy is important, the people are important, the money management is important, but what remains behind is a technology partner. What remains behind is the systems and controls what has made us to grow much faster and much ahead of us. I think SAP has been a very integral part of our growth journey, and we're really thankful to SAP team in India and our IT team who has been really, our growth journey has been very exponential. You know, I have seen this company for the last 30 years always in project stage. I never seen at a settled stage. So the moment we complete one, there are 10 other projects are coming up. So which is a wonderful thing to, you know, you are always an entrepreneur. You are never a settled person, which gives us an insight. And this growth journey is not possible without proper systems in place, proper like SAP kind of systems as a backbone for us. So I would say SAP as a spinal cord for a growth, and balance our limbs are working, and probably, you know, the IT team and our departments, various departments are really integrating very well with the system. Whatever the growth journey, whatever the new challenges are coming up, we are just discussing across with the team in SAP, and we come out with a solution. There are innovative solutions coming up. Probably both of us are learning from that, and we are engaging and we are adding value to each other.
No, absolutely. A pleasure to hear the good words about SAP.
Thank you.
I mean, when our customers are in project mode, then obviously we are always in the project mode. We have to be. And the co-innovations with our customers are very, very important. So Arun, fantastic insights about the industry, about how the growth of JSW, I think you have been there for 30 years, from 300 to now few lakh crores, and the way you think AI is going to shape the business going forward. So fantastic insights. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate. A round of applause for Arun. I think it's been wonderful to get his insights here. Thank you so much on that. Thanks, Arun. Really appreciate on this.
Thank you, Arun sir and Mukesh ji, for an engaging and informative fireside chat. Your discussion on the transforming landscapes of India's core industry and the impact of technology has provided us with a valuable perspective. As we know, for any business landscape, data is the gold mine and can enable AI algorithm to get transformative insights.